Okay, welcome back, everyone.
Lovely, lovely, lovely work. Folks are welcome to unmute. I do know that Paula is in the house. And Paula, did you want to say anything? That was such a great way to end this particular Act 1. And
Okay.
yes, we will be coming to Act 2 and 3 the next 2 Sundays.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, this is Paula Dion Ingram, and I am delighted to be here. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, David. And thank you, everyone that's been involved with this project, Black Voices in Cabaret. I know I've got several friends on here as well. So many folk. I don't want to start naming people off, but I see a lot of my performing friends and a lot of, I see some family as well. Just wanted to say that, during this time in particular, as we are looking at a world that's still trying to kind of come to sorts with who we are, I am just very proud to say that, as a classically trained singer, and my genres include opera and musical theater, and always in my recitals and always when I have an opportunity, my base and my foundation is about identifying, reaching out, and expressing songs about Black American composers, librettists, artists. And so I am very honored that the world of cabaret has opened its arms and embraced me. I see some folks from the St. Louis Cabaret Conference where I started. The performance that you saw was from my debut at 54 Below, Feinstein's 54 Below in New York City. But I am just honored to see these faces, all of you all. I mean, for we performers, it's been tough to not have an audience, and many of us are on Zooms, but this is just amazing that you would take the time today for such important work and for donating. This is something that all of us here collectively know, that the arts, music, dance, magic, David, acting, all of it matters. And, I teach, lots of young people, and I have 5, my husband and I have 5. So we've taught all of our adult children that, connecting to people can come in many forms, but there is just simply nothing better than connecting through the arts. And so for all of you who've been supporting and will continue to support, Claudia, you are a visionary. David, you are a visionary. And we appreciate what you do. And to all of the fellow performers, those who are performing today, those who will perform in the next couple of Sundays, and all of you on here that are performers, please, please just keep pushing forward. Continue to let your voice be heard. I am so grateful. God is good. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Paula. That's wonderful. I want to also add in, before we get any more comments, we have 2 goals here for the program, not just to develop entertainers, but to develop audiences too. Because part of the problem is we're not exposed as much as we probably should be. So one of our initiatives, we hope, is to expose the entertainment and the wonderfulness of what we do to underserved audiences in areas. For example, let's say the South Side and other areas that really aren't, that have not been exposed to cabaret. So that's one of the things we'll be doing in the future. But thank you, Paula, for that wonderful participation.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Unmute and let's hear it.
Hi, it's Beth.
Hi, Beth.
I just found this fantastic. What a lovely, gifted group of singers. I'm glad I joined for a season pass, and I look forward to the next 2 sessions.
Well, glad to have you, Beth. And that's a wonderful view of your phone.
Well, I was trying to write a chat. I'm not very good at this.
That's okay. We can hear you, and that's most important. Thanks for your support, Beth.
And I'm glad you like my phone.
It's nice. Stunning.
And I don't know what happened to me. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay. Anybody else? Now I know this group of people.
I
You're
know,
not Claude.
I saw Bob Salone here and Jean-Claude Orfali, both wonderful pianists in the world of cabaret. Jean-Claude is calling in from Paris. So
Hello, everybody.
Bonjour.
Bonjour,
Yeah.
Paul.
Bonjour, Jean-Claude.
Bonjour, and how are you? Good. Nice to see you all, and to get to know new persons, new artists. It was fantastic tonight. It's a beautiful show, and I have to congratulate and to thank everybody, all the artists, musicians, and organizers. It was really nice. It was musical, and everybody was just great. So thank you so much.
Yes,
And
see, John Paul.
this is just one third of it. I was going to say Vivian Beckford is in the house, and Vivian is on the programming committee. And one of the things she said is we really need to start from the history and then go to the present and then to the future, which is what gave us the arc for this project, this series here in the month of March. I wanted to remind folks, if you go to the Black Voices in Cabaret website, we now have 7 little testimonials that various members of the roster have put up talking about particular artists or groups of artists that have inspired them, digging back into the history of Black musicians. And I don't know, Vivian, if you want to say anything about this process that you've been part of, but you could unmute. You're muted at the moment. So
You are talking to me?
for Vivian.
For again.
I'm Vivian.
Ah, there you go.
All
Hi,
right.
Vivian.
Claudia, thank you for recognizing the input that I had at our first brainstorming session. I remember being concerned about getting this together, but Claudia, you are amazing.
No kidding.
You are a
The
visionary.
rest of you guys, really. I'm just facilitating here. So.
Yes. And the linkage of the history is what I'm so thrilled to see and be included in this presentation. The artists are amazing, the different voices, it's just been beautiful. And we're all a part of it. I too was a classical singer. My beginnings were in classical music, and I have moved into various other genres and found it to be wonderful and delightful. But I'm also glad to be a part of this amazing presentation and the ongoing work with Cabaret. Okay, that's it.
Thanks, Vivian.
I see Ava Saunders is in the house. She's one of the younger performers coming into this field. Ava, do you have anything to say about what you're thinking about with respect to what this cabaret business is all about?
Well, of course, I definitely want to, speak my gratitude, and how much I appreciate this celebration, this moment in time, and getting to work with so many brilliant-minded artists and leaders. It's so impactful to be able to share my art personally. I feel like that's how I found my voice in the world. So this means so much to me, and I'm glad all of you are here to support us. And please keep supporting us. It really means a lot. And thank you so much.
Ava's she's the backup singer, but I don't feel like it's a backup. It's like the duo singer.
Yeah, they came together so well. She's the co-conspirator.
The co-conspirator with Shawnee Dew when they're in, now I have to think they're in Act 3, so they'll be in 2 weeks. You'll hear Shawnee Dew's Whatever with Ava Saunders helping him out in a change of costume besides, looking really good. So I saw Cynthia was here.
Yes, I am very, very happy to be a part of this. When I was first asked by Evelyn if I would contribute, I said, of course, I will. I wasn't really sure what it was, but After having spoken to several people, I realized that Arlene and David and Evelyn and people kind of got together and said, you know, we should do this. We can. There are Black singers, there are Black performers here in Chicago, but people just don't know us. And David was kind enough to approach Claudia about it, and Claudia, being Claudia, said, "Okay." It's like, "Okay, uh, let's have a show. Let's do it. Let's do it." And I think it's great what they've come up with, and I'm very happy to be a part of it. And I hope that all the people who were here today will join in and check out our other two shows next Sunday and the Sunday after. Thank you all so much for contributing and for being here. Cabaret has been a new home for me. I'm still relatively new to Chicago, but it really has made a big, big difference in my life.
Yay.
Well,
Hurrah.
we've been glad to have you, Cynthia. And I
Thank
think Ava Logan's here too, if I see correctly. Hi,
Hello.
Ava.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know if I was unmuted or not. But I said at the end of this, oh no, it's over already. I can't believe it was just such a wonderful, wonderful, inspiring performances by all the singers. And I've been in cabaret in Chicago for a little bit, but never undertaken a project such as this one, which of course would be special to me as an African American performer. But I am so grateful and just so glad to be a part of this celebration of African American voices in cabaret. It was long, long, long overdue. But I am so glad that we have taken the time to get this together. And thank you so much, David, for your vision, and Claudia for your always present pulling things together prowess.
Hmm.
But
Definitely.
I'm very happy to be joined with these fantastic performers, and I just look forward to more and more and more and more and more.
Well, we look forward to lots more too, two more shows. Plus, we have some other plans down the road, including the Chicago Paris Cabaret Connexion, I believe, and the Cabaret Weekend, and holiday things around the Christmas holidays. So stay tuned. We've got a lot more planned.
We'll do some garden concerts. I'm seeing some folks who are now signing up to join the roster. Joyce Thomas
Hmm.
um, has put in her bio and headshot, and looking forward to hearing her. Um, Somebody from the West Coast, from Los Angeles, Randy Taylor, just signed up on the roster. We'll get his bio and headshot up onto the profiles page so we can learn more about
Hmm.
him. And I do want to ask everyone here, reach out to a couple of people who don't yet know, just
Hmm.
during this week. Get them to visit us at blackvoicesandcabaret.org, to the RSVP page, and really reach out to some new people who
Definitely.
maybe don't know what cabaret is. Because we'll continue to, I loved how Arlene, sort of described what it is. And we will continue to do that because this definition keeps on um, growing. Carla
Hmm.
Gordon was saying how the musical human touch, which was Arlene's expression, how that really helps um, say a lot of what cabaret is. Evelyn Danner is in the house, I believe,
Yep.
and
Hi, Evie.
might want to say something.
I am hiding behind my sister's name.
Yeah. We know you anywhere, Evie. Don't
Uh,
try.
Hello. This was such a wonderful concert. So wonderful. I'm so proud to be involved. Um, Cabaret is, and music is everything. It's kind of emotional. I don't really know what to say. It's I thought everyone's performance was just so inspiring and so right on the money. And I can't wait till everyone sees the next two.
Hmm. Oh, we have a lot
So
of talent.
Natalie Douglas is here.
Oh, hi, Natalie.
Hi, Natalie.
Natalie, I have to tell everybody, you are one of the reasons why I asked the question in the first place. you appeared in an article in Bistro Awards about the lack of diversity in cabaret. And that's what kind of really got me off the dime to open my big fat mouth and try things happen.
Thanks. Thank you, David. Yeah, I've been fighting this fight in New York cabaret for 30 years. And my favorite thing about this afternoon is seeing so many fantastic performers, because what I've been hearing from white producers and the people who cast reviews and the people who book cabaret spaces is, oh, of course we want more Black people in cabaret, but there just aren't any, you know, and that's such a lie. And it's so wonderful to see so much talent. And I know next week and the week after there's more coming. And I've over this last, I guess it's about 7 months since the murder of George Floyd, of course, I've been involved with a bunch of organizations that are trying to say that very thing. Like, we're here, we've always been here, we're not new. We didn't just suddenly appear in the 1960s, and we have things to say, and we are a part of the fabric of everything in this country, the music, the history, the very buildings, you know. So erasing us does a disservice to everyone. It's not just about, I mean, yes, representation is important, but we are as much a part of it as anything else. So when you erase us, you erase a chunk of history, you know, and especially going forward in moments like this, we need our history. So, you know, I'm just so thrilled that you guys are doing such brilliant work, and congratulations. Great show. Everybody sounded so good.
Just wait until next week because it keeps on getting more. Now I see Patrick Davis is in the house, and
Yes, that's good. I wanted to get to
his
him.
Everything Must Change. Well, there you go. Everything Must Change. So
You know what? First of all, I want to say, Claudia and David and the whole planning committee, thank you guys for making this dream come true. David, you may recall back at a song shop at Ruth First House. God, this must have been what, 3 years ago?
Probably.
And,
Yeah.
yeah. And you talked about the idea of having this, and you planted that seed. And wow, to see throughout navigating COVID that this dream has come true. And I have to thank you, brother, for having the vision, along with you know, Arlene Armstrong, and Vivian talked about it. And then obviously Claudia worked her magical, just awesome organizational skills to make it happen. So I just want to say thank you so much for including me to be a part of such a fantastic roster of performances. And then I want to do a shout out to the band. The band was phenomenal to work with, such seasoned, excellent performers that just elevated the whole art. So once again, very pleased and proud of this cultural experience that we're sharing with the world. So thank you again. Means a lot.
that
It
was
means a lot to hear that, definitely.
it was Michael Logan on the piano.
Yes,
So,
awesome.
as Margaret Murphy would say, they're monsters. Michael Logan, Charles Heath IV on drums, Chuck Webb on bass. It was great to work with them. I got so jealous that during a break I had to go up and just sing with them, because it's like, you have these fabulous musicians around. Yeah, it was great. And Margaret has a roster of others that we're going to start to, you know, we're going to pull on them. We're going to meet more of our South Side musicians. We need to know them. Go ahead, Dan.
And how about that venue? I had no idea that it had such a rich heritage.
Epiphany.
Yeah, great place to work.
Oh, Epiphany is a wonderful site. They gave us a tour afterwards. If you have not gone, when the pandemic is lifted, please go, because they have such a rich history. And Ava, remember they took us around?
Yes, it was such a wonderful space. I mean, there's just layers and layers to it. You know, it's a gallery space. They have a beautiful cafe, and so much art, and I love that a lot of the communities that they're connecting with is people that are disenfranchised, or not really given the needs that they need. How they're able to repurpose and give people the skills to express themselves and take a better path. You know what I mean? So they're the Epiphany Theater is a really, really beautiful place. They're doing great things for people.
I see Bobby and Wydetta and Margaret are here, and I'd love to hear from all of them. Particularly Wydetta Carter is organizing with the Chicago Cabaret Professionals a series of future online performances featuring members, and I want to encourage all of us to be members of the Chicago Cabaret Professionals. For $35 a year, you can't do better than to be part of a network of artists who are working together and thinking about how do we advocate this art form, putting together some workshops and just being there to help each other out. You know, you're looking for some sheet music, you send a message to your fellow members and somebody will have it, or you're looking for a pianist, or you're looking for a place. So, Chicago Cabaret Professionals. Wydetta, do you want to weigh in and say anything about what's going on? Ah, she's doing two Zooms at once. Okay. But because she's very busy organizing things. Oh, she's also on the National Council of the Actors Equity Association, and they're going into a convention next month. So pretty busy time. Margaret and Bobby. I saw Bobby had unmuted, I think. So Bobby, if you're there.
First of all, I want to say that I lost my Zoom connection. And then by the time I got back on, I actually had to join the conversation. I could hear you on Facebook, but I couldn't participate. But it's wonderful to have had a chance to see some people and hear some people that I hadn't heard in many years, like Holly Maxwell and others, and be introduced to these new voices and faces that are joining this musical presentation that seems to be crossing all kinds of genre and style and under the umbrella of cabaret. And I'm just pleased whenever we can have a stage, no matter what they call it. You know, it's sort of like God. He doesn't really care what you call it as long as you call it. So as long as we have many stages, many venues, and many opportunities that are now including, of course, video and streaming opportunities, which I don't think is going away. I think it's going to be a part of the landscape. So we all should probably acclimate ourselves to being on camera, which is a part of our art that disappeared as the climate and the landscape changed. So now we have a new tree to plant. We have other voices to hear and other places for these voices, these ideas, and this music to be shared. What could be better than that?
Yay. Margaret. Margaret's one of our programming cohorts and runs the Southside Jazz Coalition. So, and
Claudia, tell the truth and shame the devil. I was just minding my own self business, and you called for help, and you know I'm a sucker for anybody that calls for help. But I just like to say that everybody did just it's amazing, the collection. I wasn't even in here. I was in the front watching it with Charles, but he just snuck down into the basement. So he wanted to thank everybody that gave a shout out to the musicians because they did an excellent job, because that was a lot of music, which I heard about every day. There was a lot of music. But I just want to say that to Natalie Douglas in New York, it's like that here in Chicago. I'm a jazz person. I've been fighting to have a lot of Black artists in jazz recognized in this city for a long time. And if we don't yell, see us, then we won't be seen. So I appreciate David and Claudia reaching out, because there's a whole roster. There are musicians, there are folks that you guys probably never even heard of that are working every day in small clubs and small venues in this city. So thank you very much for giving us a stage to stand on, to sing our songs, and to tell our stories. I really do appreciate being part of this. And I really love the fact that I get to see people I haven't seen in years. Ava Logan Evelyn, who sat on the bar with me with Von Freeman 40 years ago. I'm telling our age. Bobby Wilson, Bobby Wilson, I talk to her every day, so she doesn't matter. So Claudia, whatever you need, whatever you need, I got it. I got more beasts, not monsters. Those musicians are beasts.
Amen.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We want people to know about this. So if you know of entertainers who might be part of what we could do, no matter what their genre, whether they sing, spoken word, variety, arts, whatever, we need to know about them and to have them know about us. So please don't be afraid to refer people to us or refer us to other people. We need that.
David, I got a couple of geriatric strippers. You got something for them?
I'll get back to you.
Margaret, you said you weren't going to tell that about me. I'm going to stop talking to you every day. I have a question. Did I hear someone say that this performance today is still accessible if you were not here at this time?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead, Claudia.
So Dave just posted, Dave DeGuyer is our executive assistant, and he just, it's going to be available on the Facebook page at Face to Face Stories for Working in Concert. We're going to post the video of the concert by itself, not this whole Zoom discussion. That'll be back on the RSVP/March page, the same that Dave just put that up, and you want to click on that, bookmark that page. You can come back to that page anytime. We will post this show today, and it will be in sync. You know, one of the things about Zoom is the audio gets, so you'll be able to see the nice, clean, YouTube of this. We're going to keep it unlisted for now because one of the thoughts that I had, and you can tell me if you agree or not, is to re-release our 4 Sundays, perhaps for 4 Sundays in the month of May, and ask people to donate again, because we're climbing up that hill and we have now still about $4,000 to raise. And I think, re-releasing might give another batch of people an opportunity to come in and put in their $25 or their 10 or their 100 at whatever, whatever amounts that they're comfortable with. But because that's the other side of making this happen. We've put in for a grant proposal to the Department of Cultural Affairs. Let's see if we get it. If we get it, it will help fund future activities.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we were already talking about garden concerts and holiday concerts and more workshops and opportunities to engage with the Cabaret Connexion and the street festival that's happening at the end of August. So all of that, all of the pieces.
I had about 5 people who were really interested in seeing today's performances, but they were not available at 3 o'clock.
So they can come in, they can RSVP, and they can get the link to that magic page. And then they
so they still, we can still send out that same poster
Yes.
with an edit.
Yes.
And accessibility to this information you put in the chat.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking for clarification. I know some of this is still confusing as we kind of get used to this. How do you visit virtually, and how do you pay virtually, and how do you perform virtually?
Right.
And when you post it on Facebook, will you have a GoFundMe? Because a couple of people said that they would love to donate, but they wanted to have access to the programs
Yeah.
at a later viewing date.
Yeah. Anybody who donates any amount is going to get the link to these views. And the other thing about Facebook, we've been struggling with Facebook. They recognize Working in Concert as a not-for-profit. It's another, they wouldn't give us a donation button, which is how people would click and just go. So we've been sending them bank letters and everything else just to clarify, yes, we really exist. So hopefully in the next week or so, you'll see a donation button on that on the Facebook page. And I want to ask Margaret, because she's been very successful at this, of using Facebook as a kind of GoFundMe platform. I think that might really we'll figure out how to make that appeal and make it easy for people to donate.
Mhm. Sounds great. I think there's somebody personally I want to say hello to. If you've looked at the names on the page, you can see there's somebody who has the same last name as me, and that's my brother Ted. He's in New Jersey. Can Ted say hello to everybody? I
He
see
can't
a picture.
find it.
You see his lovely living room, but no Ted. I'll get back to him later. I think we had Kimberly. Let's see. I'm
If
trying
Kim
to
is
look at.
not there.
She was here a minute ago. Oh well.
And the president of Working in Concert came
Oh,
in,
Christine.
Christine Steyer. Christine's got an opera that she's written, and we are producing the premiere is next month on April 17th. Christine,
I haven't written it. I wrote the libretto. I've got a fabulous composer writing the music.
and the music is written, and this is a Zoom opera. It's a virtual opera that was prepared by each opera singer in their own home recording, and then it's being compiled, and it looks like a Zoom call because that's the story. So the Zoom call will bring us the stories of 6 medics, doctors, nurses, ambulance drivers from around the world who are dealing with the pandemic and how they help each other through these virtual calls to support each other, because it's been really rough for healthcare workers.
Our central character is Gwen Brown, who will be singing on which concert? The final concert?
The final concert
Of Black Voices. And I know her from many years where we sang in the lyric opera chorus together. She's a glorious singer. And I knew that this was the perfect role for her with her spirit of generosity and humility. And so she'll be the Chicago healthcare worker navigating everything. And for those of you from Chicago, you know the challenges with hospitals getting cut, things getting cut and not having the supplies they needed. And so she's gonna be the glue for this opera. We're so lucky to have her.
And it's a kind of interesting way that opera and cabaret are coming together. I love that Cynthia Clary and Paula Dion Ingram and others have moved from that huge stage, singing over the orchestra and bringing it into a small, intimate space. And Gwen, you'll hear her rendition of "There's a Balm in Gilead," and it's so
Amazing.
personal.
It was amazing.
It's going to make us. Music makes us cry. It's
yeah, for sure.
But having intertwining opera and cabaret and other genres is really exciting right now, and I love that the African American performers who are doing this. This is the culture that we're all swimming in, and it's all kind of getting a rainbow. It's really quite lovely.
Right.
I'm
Anybody
not
else?
sure if we've heard from everybody, and my cat is talking, but
We had the wonderful panelist from last week, Ms. Lynn Colbert-Jones is on. I wonder if you wanted to invite her to say a few words as well.
Oh, Lynn, hello, hello.
My goodness, thank you so much. Hi. Hi, Claudia. Hi, guys.
Hi.
This has been amazing. Amazing. Today was such a treat, and I feel so honored that Barb Smith brought me into this world and introduced me to Claudia, and then it went from Claudia to Dan to Dave, and it's just been fantastic. I love everything that you guys are doing, and I'm so thrilled to be a part of it. And today's singers and band members were absolutely fantastic. Can't say enough.
Well, Lynn was in our first session. So again, if you go back to your magic page, you'll see the link to last week's discussion. And it was so interesting. Her elder cousin was Lil Hardin Armstrong, the great band leader, a relatively unsung woman and African American musician here in Chicago. who made a big difference to the world of jazz. So it was a great conversation. Mark Ruffin afterwards was saying, "Wow, that came off really," because history, we think of high school class, but it was really fabulous. So you can
Thank you
all
so much.
do that.
Thank you, Claudia. I was speaking with one of my sisters yesterday about the fact that, I was able to bring Lil's story to this network of people. I have a Friday night Good Hearts Club music Zoom every Friday, and I promoted this program and this organization and this show on my Friday night Zoom. I had Madeline do it last week. I had Patrick and Holly do it this past Friday. So it's been really nice. But with one of my sisters, I said, I'm sure Lil saying, goodness, the baby that I used to see and love is now telling my story to other people. She was 30 plus years older than my mom, and my mom didn't have me until she was 36. So that's a huge gap between Lil and myself, but it's fantastic. So thank you for allowing me to do that, and I hope she's smiling from the heavens that her story is getting told and shared.
There's a couple of other people here I want to recognize. Carol Oberbussing has been running the Woodstock Folk Festival for many years.
Hi,
And
Claudia.
hi.
Hi, I wanted to thank everyone who performed and worked on today's concert. It was great. And one of the things I've always admired about you, Claudia, is the way that you're able to bring people together. You're always creating bridges, whether it's between classical music and jazz or between France and the United States or New York and Chicago. You're just so wonderful at doing that. And that's been one of the great passions of my life, is trying to make connections among people and organizations. So in that spirit, you mentioned the Woodstock Folk Festival, and we have a weekly series called Woodstock Wednesdays. And last month, February 3rd, we featured a singer, Leah Nicene McCoo. And I don't think she's ever been part of the cabaret community, but she's very much part of the folk community. And she used to be the assistant director of the children's choir in Chicago. If you want to check out her video for Woodstock Wednesdays, it's on woodstockfolkfestival.org. She has a very powerful voice, and she has done a lot for many different organizations over the years, and for the cause of civil rights as well. So in the spirit of building bridges, I offer that performance by Leah Nicene McCoo.
And send her our way. And I see Eve Moran is here from Cliff Dwellers Club, which has been, which has supported the Cabaret Connexion activities with some grants from their foundation. But it's also been a wonderful place to perform. It's a private club of arts advocates that dates back to 1907, something like that.
Yes, yes. And I'm hoping, when things get better, then maybe we could have a night of Black Cabaret at the club. Why not?
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Diane Marshall from the Jazz Institute is a member. So, and I've been a cabaret lover since I was a kid. I was one of those weird kids that, loved all of this music. Julie Wilson, if you remember back then, Alberta Hunter. I mean, I'm going way back. And I was a kid, but that was the music that moved me, and it is jazz, and it is opera, and it is everything. So I absolutely love this series. I'm making a list of people that I have to send it to. Keenan Kyles, who was an artist in residence. I don't know if you guys heard of him. He's an African-American opera singer, who I went to see at the in Scotland. They cast him as the lead in Rigoletto. Kimberly Jones.
Yes.
Are you familiar with her?
Would love for for her to join us.
Yes, so I have to, right away call Kim. And a dear friend of mine, Val Yoakley, she, I did a program for Roger Ebert at the club many, many years ago. And at that point, Roger couldn't talk anymore, okay? He couldn't eat. And we wanted to honor him. And he wrote to me and said, Eve, I don't want any more honors. I want a night of music. So I gathered 18 different performers in every single genre. One of them was a fantastic singer who happened to be my dentist's dental assistant. Val Yoakley, her mother was a high school piano teacher for the Chicago Public Schools for many, many years. And so one of those acts was mother and daughter.
Wow.
Singing for Roger. It was, wow, special. So yes, I'm all on board with you guys. I love you all. And I'm delighted to be a part of this. And if there's any way I can help, you got my number.
I'll spread the word. I see Elizabeth Howard is here, and Elizabeth has been voice teacher to many of us.
Right here.
Hands up. Yeah. I mean, and Elizabeth, when you say this is a fabulous voice, we have to know that she's the expert on what makes a fabulous voice. And she was going, wow, to Paula, and, wow to, so you might want to say something here.
I can't, I'm speechless. I thought every single voice was spectacular. I would have been sending a chat to every single person. It was, it's not a matter of vocal technique. It's a matter of, do you move your audience emotionally? It's not high notes. It's not this. It's not that. It's not technical tools. Well, of course, you have to have the ability to, you have to have the technical tools to express what you're feeling. But that's the most important thing, that you can touch people's hearts and shine. I'm getting somewhat of a kick out of listening to people thanking to be a part of this. When I do my workshops and I do style and I talk about R&B and jazz, you have to go back to the blues. You have the blues. I mean, we've got Bessie Smith. I mean, the list is it goes on and on. That's where we come from. The black sing in this country. The black singers gave us the foundation. They set the path. They're the trailblazers, the pioneers. We call it cabaret, but it's back. I just saw the Black Bottom. What's the one?
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Oh, what a fabulous depiction of the way it was back on the plantations with the singers and how wonderful they were. But that's where it began, in my opinion, my humble opinion. And it's evolved, and evolved into R&B, into soul, into rock, into cabaret. Cabaret to me is just about anything that tells a story. You could have an operatic like we heard. Oh my God, what a voice that Ollie Watts Davis. What an amazing voice. But it doesn't matter the genre. If you're telling a story and you move people, that's what matters. And I just want to say how I'm on the verge of tears, actually. Thrilled I am to see so many people get this opportunity to show their gifts and their talents and shine like they need to shine, that they should shine and they should share. And for us to have this emotional connection with each and every one of these singers that were presented, and the material was outstanding. The songs were just top notch. So thank you for, it was, the privilege was mine. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
so much, Elizabeth. Dave?
No, I was just saying thank you to Elizabeth. She knows what she's talking about about vocal development and helping the singer along. She's doing her best with me.
And we loved your magic.
Oh, thank you. What can I say? That's about 35 years misspent.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I started at age 9. At age 12, I was performing professionally. At age 25, I became Mr. Smiles the Clown. And after 20 years later, I said, okay, that's it. But now I've managed to resurrect what I've done. And I'll tell you, to be honest, if it had not been for this program, I would have remained retired because I was happy. But I'm glad to bring what little I bring to the table. Next time, maybe I'll sing, maybe. But we'll see what's what.
Cappy wants to know, how did you do that trick?
Cappy, wait a minute. Cappy, can you keep a secret?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so can I. Sorry.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak? I think we're almost to the end of things, but if you unmute and
Say
unmute
hi.
yourself.
Say hi.
Oh, and Ted Stevens just said, let's hear it for Mr. Smiles.
Wait a minute. Now, Ted, come on. I got to hear from you. That's my brother. Yes, I do have a brother. So, Ted?
Is he gonna unmute?
Introducing my brother, Essex County prosecutor in New Jersey, Ted Stevens, and his lovely lady, Rita Butts.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, how are you?
Greetings from New Jersey, right, Guy?
Yes, sir.
So,
Hello, Ted.
Ted, that's Dan. That's Dan, yeah. So what do you think, Ted?
Well, I tell you, I think that anything that brings up a reference to Mr. Smiles is a good thing. So,
well, thank you, Guy, but I'm talking about the show, okay?
Oh, yeah, that too. Listen, excellent. I knew there was a reason why my brother was so excited about getting involved with this group. You guys are tremendous, and I just can't wait for the next couple of shows.
Thanks, Guy. It really means a lot to have you on board, too.
It's my pleasure to be a supporter.
And by the way, don't get in trouble in Essex County, New Jersey. He will throw the book at you, so don't.
Hello, Rita.
Hi, I'm your #1 supporter.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love it all.
Thank you, sis.
Hello.
I'm wondering if Arlene is still here.
I was looking around. I didn't see her.
I don't know who iPad is. Somebody is.
Oh no, iPad. That's not Arlene. I don't know who iPad is.
And Aya Borchers. I'm.
Oh, iPad is Carol Weston, I think.
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, Carol, did you want to say anything?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can.
It was a great show. It was very informative and wonderful talent. It was amazing what you put together. Loved it.
Carol's been a longtime singer with SongShop, which is the ongoing workshop that I coach and mentor singers since 2003. That dates us, Carol. And she actually
you had to tell, huh?
When we were back at Sherwood Conservatory in
I remember that. Yes.
We've been at DePaul Community Music Division since 2003. And I wanted to say to any of the singers who want to work on, taking a look, refresh some repertoire, or just get challenged to rethink the text, subtext, and context of your songs. SongShop's a wonderful place to do it. It's a place where Christine, as an opera singer, has come to work on how do you do this more personal work, or having Ava Logan, who's coming from the jazz world. How do you tell your story through these songs? So folks have been coming in And we're doing virtual these days, so it's a little different than having our pianist with us. But as soon as we get the green light, we will be back in live work to, because there's nothing quite like being live.
No.
So everyone, and Beth Hallaby has been a regular, Patrick Davis, it's, and
Carrie Hedges.
and Carrie Hedges.
Hi,
yeah,
Carrie.
Carrie's
I
there.
just wanted to comment on Song Shop. I have learned more in Song Shop than I learned in all the previous years of voice lessons and singing in various choruses and choirs. I just have learned so much, and I continue to learn.
It's been an exciting process. I love seeing Dan and David, of course, have also been part of this.
Yes.
It's wonderful to see the progress that's made.
And
And
that's
to
the reason I came to
say,
you, Claudia, really, because as part the cabaret community is all well and good, but I felt Song Shop was probably one of the more inclusive and expanding and encouraging venues that we could work with. So when I wanted to do the show, I just knew I was going to have a problem myself. So the first thing I thought was, I wonder if Claudia might be interested. Well, I guess we know the answer.
yeah, I'm obliged. I don't know. It's super important to me. I don't know. People don't know very much about my political history with regards to the question of civil rights, but my mother always touted the importance of it, and she was very proud to have been a translator for Paul Robeson at the peace conference that took place in Paris in 1953. And when I was 5 years old, he came to Detroit and sang at a church. He was pretty much being blacklisted at the time. And she takes me to this church to hear Paul Robeson, and she says, "This is a historic event." And of course, you tell a kid that they're going to have to remember this. I remember it. And I remember him singing Old Man River and singing these gospels in this big, low bass voice and being totally mesmerized. But my family was deeply involved in the civil rights movement in Detroit. And when white flight took place in our neighborhood, my mother stayed put and became very involved with Coleman Young and John Conyers and Congressman Crockett, who later was a judge, and this whole group of people who were fighting police brutality in the 60s and 70s in Detroit. And so that whole process brings me to that. And later, when I had already left the house, our neighbor was Malcolm X's older brother, Will, and his wife, Ruth, who were very modest, very open and lovely people. I was so thrilled to be able to bring them to a concert that I gave in the Detroit area and before they passed. But we all have our reasons. I loved what Elizabeth Howard had to say about we rest on the shoulders of a lot of African Americans. We, as working people as a whole, are enriched when we're united and when we work together this way. It's just, I don't know, the boss is always going to try to divide us, so this is our process of coming together, and it's super important. Thank you. End of my story. So
Hey,
Claudia, can I
Elizabeth.
ask you and David a question? Is this this is the beginning of Black Voices in Cabaret, right?
Absolutely.
So can you imagine what this is going to look like in a year's time, or 5 years time, or
Honestly,
20 years from now?
it terrifies me in a great way, because like I said, I had in mind a nice song shop show. That's all I had in mind. I had no idea that within 7 months or so of asking that question, we're looking at a potential movement.
It's a movement, and no different from us talking about Lil performing at Dreamland.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe our children or grandchildren will be talking about all of us here.
That would be lovely, but right now I want to identify the best people we can, give them the best venues that we can in front of the best audiences we can.
There you go.
That's what I'm about right now. And if we can do all those things, I'm going to be a happy camper.
Well, hats off to you guys. I just wanted to say that.
Well,
Thank
Lynn,
you.
we'll be calling on you because
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, absolutely. I am honored. Seriously, I'm in awe of what you guys have come
Mhm.
together to pull off, and I love the bridges, right? It's a
Mhm.
big deal. Yeah.
And I'm also amazed that I've just been watching people who are still here, and we have so many people who are still here, still willing to share, still willing to listen. And we thank you all for sticking around because your participation is what makes this happen. Without audiences, there are no entertainers. So thank you.
I see Madeline Morgan is here. And we
Oh, I
haven't,
see Elizabeth is waving her hand too.
yeah,
Elizabeth Howard.
she's, oh, you're muted, Elizabeth.
I know, I have to go is what I'm waving my hand about.
Oh,
'Cause
love
I,
you. Thank
But we
you.
love you.
Bye.
Thank you. Madeline, hi.
Yes, I am here, and
Yay.
it was a great experience to be part of it and work with that fabulous trio.
Oh, God,
Yes, they were very, very good, and they worked with me. So I was glad to be able to sing that song, because if I go someplace, that's the first song I want to sing in a new spot. So you let me sing it, and so it worked out for me. And now I can sing anything after that.
Yay. Yay. And people should go to the Black History videos on the website and look at Madeline Morgan's story. It's so cool. It is really, really cool.
Well, it's
And
our
Natalie Douglas has a story, Cynthia Clary, Bobby Wilson. There's three others, Margaret Murphy, Chuck Webb, missing somebody. But anyway, go and take a look. Oh, Ali is here. Wow.
Brava!
Bravo.
Hey, she made it. Yay.
It was beautiful.
It
You're muted,
was.
so you need to unmute. Can you unmute?
Okay, here we go. Can
There
you
we
hear me
go.
now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm in the
Hello.
airport. Hello.
Oh.
I just landed in Fort Lauderdale, and I just was trying to get on to say hello to everyone and thank everyone for listening to our music today. I'll have to go back and hear the archive because I was on a plane when it was happening.
Okay.
Well,
But
Well, you were fabulous. Thank you for your participation.
it was beautiful.
certainly,
Someone asked me afterwards if I could post the lyrics. We posted the lyrics in the chat, but when we set up the YouTube channel, I'm going to post those lyrics
yes,
because they're so rich. And
they are.
you know, at the moment that you say "I too am America," and you'll hear Arlene Armstrong when she's setting up, you know, the discussion about the history of blacks in America. She says, "We are America," and I'm going,
Mhm.
"Oh, what a
Yeah,
you know, conjoining of the lyrics with
sure.
what we're feeling." So it's really lovely.
Well, wonderful. When will it be available for me to view the whole thing?
It's actually because it's on Facebook. This whole
Okay,
you
so
can
it's
go.
there.
It's there, but the YouTube link that's going to be on our RSVP/March page
Yes,
will be a cleaner. It won't
certainly.
have the Zoom delays.
Sure. Yeah. For some reason, I thought that I would be able to watch it with you. But I thought my flight was earlier. But when I looked at everything and thought I wasn't leaving until 1:58, I thought, oops, I missed it. But at any rate, congratulations. I trust it went well and that you're all pleased. And
Yes.
thanks again, everyone,
Wonderful.
for being there. I'm gonna sign off now.
Okay, we'll see
But
you.
just wanted to say hello.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Have a
Sure.
good trip.
Thank you so much. All
Okay.
righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I think we can maybe close our conversation.
Is Roxanne? Did you want to? Is Roxanne help today?
Yes, it's been a pleasure and an honor. A little bit like what you just said, David. It's kind of like you get in this for something and you get something else, and the
Oh
something
yeah.
else is always more. Thank you, and thank you. I am humbled, impressed, and inspired.
Well, thank you, everyone. It's been a wonderful afternoon. Same time next week.
Yep.
All right. Have a
Till
good one,
then.
everybody. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Madeline. Thank you, Ava. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you. Oh, well, forget it. Goodbye, everybody.